All right, Mr. Ellis, my name is Eddie Webb. I'm from Philadelphia, class of
The
1959.
great Eddie Webb,
Yes,
one and only.
The one and only. I'd like to know what are y'all doing out here today?
So this is Martin Luther King's birthday. And so many people take Martin Luther King's birthday for granted. It's just a day to take off, to relax, and eat something they shouldn't be eating. Really, when you think about his life and what he stood for, what he died doing, standing up for the rights of sanitation workers, I think Martin Luther King's birthday ought to be a day of service, a day of reflection, a day to celebrate just how far we have come, but also a day to reflect on just how much farther we have to go. So I thought it was appropriate to start off. I rode my bicycle over here, hopefully to serve as a model to so many people, young and old, that fitness, healthcare, preventative medicine is a big part of what we all ought to be about. And second, we came out here to clean up this historic cemetery, which was founded by a man who was the most influential African American in Houston at the time, Mr. Kelly. His grave is here. It needs some upkeep. It needs to be restored. What we're trying to do is encourage the community to take an interest in this cemetery and any other civic project that they're interested in. We did have the county crew to come out and mow it. The grass was overgrown. We're gonna put out a press release, some stories on the internet showing how it looked. But then after we mowed it, we had to have volunteers because you got to do the painstaking job of picking up some of these headstones so you don't damage them.
Okay.
And put them out there, put them back in place. So we probably had a good group. You were out here, of course. People from community came.
Yes.
Habitat for Humanity teamed up with us. I'm hoping next year we can really find a way to partner with more people in the community so it's really them.
Okay.
There's some who say that the county controls this cemetery because it was abandoned. If that is the case, we're just going to look at the prospect of trying to turn it into a park. Even if the county didn't have the funding, maybe we partner with the city or somebody else. Maybe some church groups could put some money in. But now, obviously, if it is a park is a place where you go and reflect.
Yes, sir.
It's also a place where you go and play. It's a place where you go and learn. So you want to make sure it's done in such a way that you don't in any way do anything that does not glorify this as a resting place for people. But there ought to be some creative way to find a way to keep this cemetery up. And I want to close on this. I really came out here because I hope that it's a way to serve as a catalyst to motivate you and our other friends in this community. Because there are people out here who mow their yards.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And one day they'll be gone, and hopefully they won't be buried in that backyard. But I want this community, Fifth Ward, to take an interest in this cemetery and learn about it.
Thank you.
So that's why we did.
Okay, thanks, sir.
All right? Thank you.
One other thing, Rodney, we came out here and videoed this
Oh, good.
before they did this.
Oh, you did good.
And
Oh,
we
you
had
saw
a
it?
So
quite
my staff will
responder.
talk to you, yeah, because it
We
looked
had a
pretty
good we had a good response from that video.
good.
And it's good to see
You put it on social media?
it's
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we got
Fifth
it.
Ward Oldest Cemetery.
That's amazing.
Yeah, Evergreen.
Come on, we hop up here. Come on, we got the cemetery behind us. Harold and I tall.
I've been knowing
You get in front of us. Come on, take this picture. You got the cemetery behind us?
Yes, sir.
What's my girl name?
Tia.
Joetta. No, Habitat. Gaynell.
Gaynell.
And Miss Jones. Come take this picture with us.
Come on, Gaynell, Sam.
Come on, y'all
How
take
you
this
doing,
picture.
man?
Y'all did all the work.
Where you been, man?
Judge, come on to security. Y'all come on over here and take this picture.
They
did all the work.
Yeah, y'all did all the work.
moved down.
Harold and I showing up for the picture.
Somebody was helping.
Yeah, that's what they told me.
Come on up here, Judge. I'm taller than you. Yeah, bring a rake. Bring a rake. She's looking for her earring.
After I took the radiation,
Bring that throw down rake. Give me that throw down rake. Give me that rake.
bleeding, so
Give me the throw down rake. Get now, come on up here.
hey, man.
So y'all know Representative Harold Dutton?
That
Man,
goes a long way back.
we grew up
Hey.
together.
Hey, man.
At the
All right,
party.
thank you all. Y'all know Judge
Yeah.
Barnstone?
Yes, sir.
Judge Barnstone.
All right.
Civil bench.
All right.
Hey, you probably remember his mother, Gertrude Barnstone.
All
And your
right.
daddy was a prominent architect, right? Howard Barnstone did a lot of these properties out here. Good old line liberals, by the way. So I knew him when he was a kid. I met your mother when I worked for Mickey Leland.
Now
All right.
we're talking about it. We're gonna go from here. All right, everybody, we live right here on the corner of Market Street and Lockwood. And I got my co-host, Mr. Eddie Webb, And I also got Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones, what do you do? You know, you're saying something about this is not the only, which we're alive right here at Evergreen Cemetery.
Yeah, the historic Evergreen Negro Cemetery became a model for us after we passed some legislation in 1995 that allowed you to take trusteeship of these properties. We went to court in 2008, the Harris County District Court, and took trusteeship of this cemetery. Since then, we've been maintaining the cemetery. However, because of an illness, for the last 2 years, we have been unable to maintain it. So today, a group of citizens and County Commissioner Rodney Ellis, and as well as some local officials, got together and said, let's do a major cleanup of the cemetery.
Okay, when did this happen? When did they come and ask you about doing a major?
Oh, it's been in process. The people from Habitat for Humanities that joined in this, they really coordinated it and put it together. But this has been in process and being planned for over a month.
Over a month. Okay,
Sure.
Good deal. Because see, we aired this on YouTube right here, your Facebook family and YouTube family. We aired this somewhere around about
November, I think.
now. I would say probably October.
Yeah.
Because it was doing Jackie Carr thing that we
Yeah.
came out here and
Yeah.
did this. So this has been in effect since we put this on YouTube, and we're glad to see some progress have been made. Mr. Jones, I know you work hard and you dedicate yourself to not only this cemetery, to other black cemeteries. And we're just so thankful that you are here with us to explain to us about Evergreen Cemetery. Now, Mr. Jones, let's say you said this is not the oldest black cemetery here in Houston, right?
No. There are several other cemeteries that in the city limits of Houston that are much older. One of the first black cemeteries that's very historic in Houston is called Harrisburg-Jackson. The Harrisburg-Jackson Cemetery is over in the east end of Houston, where Lawndale crosses Broadway. That cemetery was there in the 1830s.
Wow.
That was before the state of Texas became a state.
Okay.
The Harrisburg Cemetery was abandoned and overgrown. It never had a real assigned caretaker or trustee or anybody that owned it. It was about 5 years ago when the former mayor of Houston and his director of policy, Jenny Beatty, called me and asked me if I would take a look at that cemetery as well as what we were doing here to see how we could help with both cemeteries. This effort at Evergreen actually grew out of some legislation that we passed in the state of Texas in 1995. That legislation allows you to go to court, and it's just as a criminal trial, they hold a court trial to determine whether you are capable, whether you have the ability and the finance to maintain these historic cemeteries, because in the state of Texas, there are over 3,000 of these kinds of cemeteries, and no one is maintaining them.
And no one is maintaining them.
No one's maintaining
So in
them.
other words, the city or the county or the state is not responsible for these cemeteries.
That is correct. That's part of what, when we went to the state in 1995, it was the result of the study of the Houston Charter that was authorized at that time by Bob Lanier, and we worked with Councilwoman Helen Huey, and we put together the legislation in my office in 1995 and passed it on to Garnett Coleman and then State Senator Rodney Ellis. And that piece of legislation called House Bill 814 successfully passed, and then Governor George W. Bush signed that piece of legislation. That legislation gives any citizen in Houston that has the finance, that has the technical capability to go to court and take trusteeship of these abandoned cemeteries. One of the significant things we learned when we were in Austin trying to get that legislation passed, the Save Texas Cemetery organization explained to us